If you want to know how great you are, them demons on the street corner recognize you.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
They'll let you know how great you are.
mhm. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Life Empowered Living. Welcome to the living room. I hope you are all doing well. Now, I know I say this all the time, but today, one of my favorite people in the whole entire world is here with me on today. And so I'd like to introduce to some, present to others, not only my pastor, but my mentor, Superintendent Victor C. Davis. Hello, sir.
Thank you, daughter. I
Thank you.
call you daughter.
Yes.
We have had that relationship for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when I was thinking about you, one of the things that I always do is I think about how I perceive you or how I would define you. And so when I think about kind of your bio, so to speak, I would call you my pastor, as I said, my mentor, my spiritual, as well as natural father in many aspects. Someone that I trust. So someone very trustworthy, someone full of humility. So like I have all of these and funny.
Yeah.
Cannot leave that out. An amazing sense of humor.
Yeah.
But how would you define you?
With people, I believe God has given me the ability to know how to be all things as much as I possibly can. And when it comes to communicating with people, but people will not believe that personally. When I'm alone by myself, I am a loner. I am quiet, and I don't do much talking. So, um, but I do more talking and at church and with the people. But basically, I'm a quiet person.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that. So,
I know
okay.
you probably wouldn't, but it's true. It's true.
So now tell
Yeah.
me, who were you BC before Christ? Tell me about kind of your
Yeah.
upbringing, the things that you did.
Yeah, I was always, I believe, a unique child from a family of 11, um, the eighth child, and I was always determined to be able to provide for myself.
Mhm.
My parents had a lot of children, therefore I knew that they couldn't buy me the kind of clothes that I wanted, so I had to get out there and hustle and work to be able to, buy what I wanted to buy and
Mhm.
have what I wanted to have. So I always worked from the age of 8 years old.
Wow.
The lady in the neighborhood that just recognized me and came to my father and my mother and asked them if it would be okay if I would help assist her to deliver her Avon. She was very old, and the neighborhood was changing, so, she needed someone to be someone like a paraclete,
Mhm,
to assist her.
mhm, mhm,
So I did, and, from there, I was always, looking for something else to do so I can be able to provide for myself
mhm,
and be a help to my parents,
mhm, mhm,
by taking care of myself
mhm.
and buying my school clothes and, books, whatever it was that
Mhm.
we needed. That's what I did.
Wow. So now you've always been an entrepreneur, so to speak. You've always been independent. You've always taken care of yourself. How has that transcended now into what you do in ministry?
Um, it 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 seems as though I'm learning how um, to adjust
Mhm,
to all that. I personally, if I was to tell you how I did it, I can't tell you.
mhm,
I don't
mhm,
really know.
mhm,
All I know is that because of good people, because of prayer, because of consecration and faith, a lot of things just unfold
mhm,
uh, as I needed them to
mhm, mhm.
unfold.
I love that. I love that answer.
Mhm.
And what's interesting is I think about, you know, um, as also a longtime member of Greater Mount Sinai, I'm thinking about Myrtle Davis and Walter Davis. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about the Vita tax that we have at the church. But
Mhm.
I remember where you didn't ask, can we do it? You said, get it done. So there was a confidence that you had to ensure the things that the vision for the things that you wanted the ministry to do, they took place. Where did you get that confidence from?
Um, I get it from my father
Okay.
because my father was a man of faith, but what he was able to do that I noticed, and I will say to a whole lot of other leaders that want to know how to be successful, at least up until now, let me
Mhm,
say it like that, is to always surround yourself around good people,
mhm, mhm,
intellectual people, challenging people,
mhm,
you
mhm,
know,
mhm,
all kind of background types of people.
mhm,
You learn so much, and when you get through putting that puzzle together, you will realize that God has allowed you to make a perfect group of people to
mhm,
help you do the furtherance of what you're endeavoring to do.
mhm, mhm. So now, okay, let's talk about the good people because sometimes in the attempt to gather the good
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
you run into the not so good people. How have you managed and how do you coach others on dealing with those people?
That is a good question. I when I first started out in leadership as a pastor, I had learned already some of the schemes and how people were before I became pastor because I was assisting my father. I'm talking about in relation to ministry right now. I know I can talk about it as far as friendship as well, but um, um, you have to consider the source,
Mhm, mhm,
consider what the background of people,
mhm,
and then you can understand why you're having problems with them, or perhaps they're having problems with you.
mhm, mhm,
And I oftentimes say it's nice to be important, and most people they want to be important,
mhm,
but it's more important to be nice.
mhm, mhm.
And this is what I try to instill in people to let them know, hey, if you want my job, you want to be important and you feel like it give you more status, have at it.
Have at it.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm at a place right now, I'm not going to fuss with you and fight
Mhm,
with you
mhm,
about, who you are and who you could be.
mhm,
I oftentimes say, if you want to know how great you are, them demons on the street corner recognize you.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
They'll let you know how great you are.
mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so now when you think to forward to where you are now and then thinking back to your younger self, what advice, knowing everything that you know now, what would you tell the younger you?
Um, oh well, I made my youthful indiscretions, so the advice I would give them is not it did not come overnight.
Mhm,
It came over time. I would say, listen to the Hari head, listen to the seasoned people,
mm,
W-
okay.
and all that you don't listen to, watch them,
Mhm, mhm.
watch them.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And that's how I really gathered strength from my mother
Mhm, mhm,
when it came to character.
mhm, mhm,
I knew some of the things that she had to encounter
mhm,
and endure, but when it came to uh, and it wasn't fake.
mhm,
It
mhm,
was just who she was in Christ.
mhm,
She was able to just be nice and she was a great model
mhm,
and for a saint, not
mhm,
just for women, but for a man as well.
mhm, mhm,
So, um, my advice is to say, stay humble.
mhm, mhm,
Um, always remember that you haven't always been where you are,
mhm,
and and give God the glory and the praise for
mhm.
the great strides you have made in life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And and on the way here, I was thinking about that word humble because that is something that I've heard you say
Oh yeah.
often.
Mhm.
And so my question is, how do you hold your head up when things are
Mhm.
difficult, when you're not winning?
Yeah.
And then how do you stay humble when you are winning?
Mhm.
How do you find the
Yeah.
balance of being
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
consistent, I guess?
Yeah. And I have the tendency to get quiet
Mm,
when I'm being challenged,
okay.
and when I'm going through something, I overanalyze maybe,
Mhm,
and I overstate what I should do and how I can get it done or
mhm,
whatever. In those challenges, really, I know people say you don't have to go through something to learn something, but in my situation, I felt as though I was learning something
mhm,
out of being um, rejected or lied on
mhm, mhm,
or misunderstood or
mhm,
whatever it may be.
mhm,
Yeah, so I had to learn how to grow up in
mm,
that area. So that comes with time.
mhm,
You
mhm,
know, you grow to a place where you get tough
mhm,
and things people say or things people do don't bother you anymore.
mhm,
But in the time of success,
mhm,
um, it's human.
mhm,
It's just human for you sometimes to first think about how you were the instrument
mhm,
to get great exploits done.
mhm, mhm,
And so then you have to remind yourself
mhm,
that there were so many other people that could have done it and
mhm,
God could have used to do it.
mhm,
So
mhm.
don't get the big head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Stay humble.
absolutely. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this year I've been saying, I have declared this as my winning season.
Oh,
And I
okay.
remember when I first started saying it, I was like, man, is that cocky? Is that? But I'm like, no, this is, if I don't declare it for myself in the belief that God has, spoke that over me, then how will I actually realize it? Because I have to believe it. Then I internalize
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
then I'm saying it. So just trying to
absolutely. Yeah,
navigate all of the things and
yeah,
and not have the perception that,
yeah,
I got the big head because
yeah.
that's not it. But I'm
No,
just
it's
trying to,
not. It's not.
yeah.
There's people in life that have that it when it comes to that.
Mhm,
You can tell that they're not being self-absorbed or
mhm,
they're being arrogant or
mhm,
anything like that. It's just the confidence.
mhm,
And sometimes you want to ask them,
mhm,
how did you get that? Where did it come from?
mhm,
I mean, you fearless,
mhm.
and I watch you and your husband, y'all fearless. Oh
So lovely.
my God, and I mean, at 70 years old,
Mhm,
I want some of that.
yeah,
I mean, just watching you all, how you and your husband, how fearless you all are. I mean, just, you learn to, if things don't seem to work out, and I watch this about some people, they know how to put something on the back burner
mhm,
and perhaps probably revisit it later
mhm,
because it's not working right now.
mhm, mhm,
And so, that is some of the things or some things you just throw away.
mhm.
It, it ain't gonna
Doesn't work.
work.
It ain't working. Let it
But
go.
yeah, you have to have common sense, and you
Mm,
have to have some people around you
yeah.
that are not envious of you and jealous of you that might give you some tidbits and
Mhm,
tell you, hey, I don't think we're in that season.
mhm.
If maybe you should think of doing something else.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you look across, and I know that you serve more than just our local congregation, but you do serve
Hmm.
across many ministries, and you see maybe, I don't know, the top 3 or 4 things that we as believers and humans need to really get better at and improve on. What would you say?
Um, First of all, I think that we should always be cognizant of the times that
Mhm,
we live in.
mhm, mhm,
What worked 30 years ago or 20 years ago may not work now.
mhm,
So you got to be cognizant of the time.
mhm, mhm,
Um, the other thing is, I believe that um, if you're a spiritual person,
mhm,
if you're a Christian, you do a lot of praying
mhm,
because in your dialogue with God, he talks with you and you talk back to him,
Mhm.
and he'll give you exactly what you need to
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
But the greatest part of all that, I would think, is executing it, you know? A lot of people have a lot of visions. They have a lot of dreams. They have a lot of things they say they wanna do, but they're still right there,
Mhm.
and they have not moved. Nothing happens unless something
Unless
moves.
something moves,
That is our
absolutely.
thing for this year. We
Mhm.
got so many people that are they they are they are full of knowing how. They're full of gifts and they
Mhm.
full of anointing to execute the gift,
Mhm.
but they just won't do it.
Hmm. And you being the type of individual that you are, and me seeing you, right, over the years, as I've given some of the examples, actually do the things. How do we help people get over those humps?
You know, I think we that are aggressive,
Mhm.
we that have mastered,
Mhm.
you know, not being fearful,
Mhm.
um, we need to recognize
Mhm.
when we see persons
Mm.
or people
Mhm.
that have that ability,
Mhm.
and block by block, person by person, step by step,
Mhm.
we need to help bring them from the shadows
Mhm. Mhm.
and, you know, pull the curtains back and let them be seen
Mhm.
and let them be heard and let them, um, you know that you are their greatest supporter and you
Mhm.
and you got their back and,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and you really are behind them,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that's, some of the things that I think is very important.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I always tell the story about when I started teaching Bible class.
Mhm.
And this is the way I tell it. I said, I was talking to Pastor one Sunday, and he was like, "I want you to work with Owens on Bible class this Wednesday." And I was like, "Sure, no
Mhm.
problem. One to Wednesday, no big deal."
Mhm.
And I said, "I didn't get to my car good." And he was like, "And so next week, when you teach next week, this is what I want you to do." I was like, "Wait a minute. I thought I was a guest. I didn't realize this was the job."
Mhm.
But you saw something,
Mhm.
and you observed something.
Mhm.
And then your confidence, I think, is what incited my confidence.
Mhm.
So, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I can see how that's actually worked in practice. This is not you just talking in theory. This is what you've done in practice. And so, how do you get the rest of us the courage to do that for other people? Because we also hear stay in your lane, or you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
that's
yeah.
restrictive. It feels restrictive.
Yeah, well, that is a divine thing there. You know, you have to divinely know when to excel, when to
Mm,
step back, when to be intrusive on the with the person. Um, I just personally think that it's no one prescription,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
but it's who God will use
mm-hmm,
through
mm-hmm,
for you to be a blessing to
mm-hmm,
help them to
mm-hmm,
uncover whatever it is that they can be productive in the body of well, not only in the body of Christ, but in life period, you
mm-hmm,
know?
mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so now tell me, if you were not pastoring
Mhm.
and you were 40, you're in the prime of career, what would you be doing? What kind of work would you be doing?
Well, I know what was in line for me at the time when I um got saved. It was during the disco time, and it was very big at that time.
Mhm,
And some of the singers and some of the artists, they were very touchable and
mhm,
very um they were very nice. They didn't, and we partied.
mhm,
And I liked that
mhm,
lifestyle, so
mhm,
to speak. And I messed around. I don't know. I ain't gonna say mess around, but God saved me and from all that because I've had. I mean, I guess I just got tired,
mhm,
you know. But the thing that got me was a job that I wanted for years. It was offered to me, and being an analyst for the top 10, top 100 on the R&B chart. And I would have had to relocate. I would have had to move and all that. And I went to my father and I told him, I said, "Oh, wow." I said, "I can make a lot of money. I can buy you all a new church. I can buy you all a home, and I can help you all to travel and all this kind of stuff." I said, "I've been offered a real good job." And my father, he just, for a second, he just looked at me. And he didn't look up. He just kept walking. He said, "That ain't God." And back then, you listened to your people. I listened to my father. I thought the world of him, even though he was not the most educated man. And my mother taught him how to read and taught him how to, live life. He was very instrumental. Not a lot of words, but that ain't God. And the way he said it, that's all I could do is walk away and hear it in my ear. That ain't God.
Wow.
And I listened to him. And I think that sometimes you have to trust the voice of others.
Absolutely.
And usually it's someone that you look up to.
So if you're having a bad day in ministry, do you ever say, "I should have never listened to him. I could be in California right now"?
Oh my, yes. I mean, no. And you know what I do? I do cry. I'll say, where are you at, Dad?
Yeah.
And oftentimes say he speaks from his grave to me. You really do. And tells me how to go about certain things. Gave me so much wisdom while he was dying. He's the only man that I ever, well, I mean, as a pastor, you see a lot of dying people, but he was the only man that I experienced that was not fearful of death. And he was only 68 years old.
Wow.
And he was giving orders, putting people in divine order. My uncle, "Don't you leave. When I leave, Vic gonna be the pastor. You work with him." And my uncle, to the day he died, he said, "I kept my vow. Didn't I, Pastor Davis?" I said, "Yes, you did, Uncle." He kept his vow. So he was just putting things, and he told me, he said, "Don't let the people rattle you." He said, "While you trying to get one told, you might be uprooting 70. He said, "Leave it alone. Just ride it out." And I did.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think some of those are some of those advice helped me to be where I am today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think hearing that from someone that is older and the wisdom and actually leaning into it. And one of the things that you've been saying kind of throughout our conversation is really not emphatically declaring it, but talking about it as patience. Learning how to be patient and allowing time to do whatever it does to get to the things, right? Get to whatever the next thing is that God has for us, we want. How did you learn that patience? Because that's not easy.
Patience is something that most people don't have. And the Bible says, "In your patience possess ye your soul." So there's a lot of people that are dead today because they didn't have patience. A lot of people that miss their opportunities because they did not have patience. And so I watched my father, enamored with big ministries. And at the time when I was a kid, and my father, we used to watch what's his name, down in Louisiana, can't think of his name, but he had a big ministry, and some of the other that had ministries on TV, and I just loved it. I just wondered, how did they do it? And so when my father started pastoring, I was trying to see if we could get a vision so that we can grow and be successful, not just be a church, but be a successful, fruitful church. And I noticed that it takes patience because he started out with 6 or 7, and then it got to 18, and then we was in the storefront on 18th and Atkinson, and that really did start flourishing. And then we moved up here on 6th and Custer. It was just a little German church, and God blessed there, even though there was no bus line. But we was, and people said, "You all out too far." But we stayed the course. And then when he passed away, as we extended the church 3 times before we went up. And by the time we get ready to go up is when he passed away. And so we took, I had the opportunity to take become the leader at that time. And we were going from place to place, but the Lord kept allowing the church to grow. And so it takes patience to see growth. And you have to believe in yourself, of course. And don't ever try to compare yourself with someone else. Because oftentimes we all look better against someone else. But I oftentimes say, but when you measure yourself up against the Word of God, none of us look like nothing.
Yeah, we all got work to do.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Yeah.
So don't never measure yourself up against someone else. You get inspired by them, and you get inspiration from them, but don't measure your success up against them, because you never know just how much success you are having behind the scene that they're not.
Right.
You know, people are admiring you as Elisha watched Elijah, so is somebody watching you.
Absolutely.
You got to see me when I go. And then if you do, you get a double portion of my spirit.
That's the word. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you think about all that you've done now, and then you think about legacy, what do you want your legacy to be? And I believe that legacy is not just when you pass away, but I also think about legacy and being in terms of when you leave the room. What are they saying about you? Are they excited to see you come back? Are they like, "Ooh, I'm glad he gone"? You know what I mean? What is legacy to you? What do you want your legacy to be?
That's a loaded question.
Yes, it is.
That is a loaded question. First of all, family-wise, I want it to be said that even though me and my wife, we divorced for a minute, but I had the courage to go back, and we are doing so much better as a couple now. Nothing changed as far as maybe how we used to be, but we understand each other better now. So, yes, I would want one of my legacy to be that I went back and I did it right when it came to my family structure. I love my children. I prayed for a son. God gave me one. 2 beautiful daughters.
3, excuse you. No.
Yeah, oh yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. So, I mean, that's the legacy
Mhm,
from a family perspective I
mhm,
would like
mhm.
to leave, that, my children appreciate me more now. And I know that
Mhm.
it's not a figment of my imagination. I know that they rather be around me now more so than they would rather be around Vanessa.
Yes.
And I know that,
Yeah.
and it's not for what they can get from me.
Yeah, yeah.
I could just feel that, and they
Mhm,
could just feel me
mhm,
for some reason. I
mhm,
don't know why. But from a family perspective, yes, don't give up.
mhm, mhm,
Stay the course,
mhm,
because your kids didn't ask to come here.
mhm.
So therefore, they deserve a mother and a father.
Mm,
Yeah. And I had to come to grips with that.
yeah.
Um, from a pastoral perspective, um, now I can say after 47 years, I never would. I mean, legacy was not on my mind.
Mhm,
Trying to put a whole lot of things as accolades was not on my mind, because I realized that I was a poor kid,
mhm,
uh, not not well as some of you all are educated. I was um, I was always trying to help somebody,
mhm,
and so God highly favored me, and so therefore I know that um, I can be. I want my legacy to be that I was able to help other leaders,
mm,
and I've done that.
mhm, mhm.
And I'm not just saying it, now that I'm 70 years old.
Yeah,
I have helped countless amount of pastors, and some of them you would never know,
yeah, yeah.
because I do it behind the scene.
Mhm,
I don't tout what I do
mhm.
and who I help and
Yeah,
how I help.
yeah.
Um, but I am an advocate, helping, because we're a small club.
Mhm,
Pastoring is a small club,
mhm,
and I'm an advocate for pastors.
mhm,
When they fall, I'm still an advocate.
mhm,
When they do bad, I still try to figure out a way to help pick them up.
mhm,
Um, and um, and when they head too big,
mhm,
I still try to figure out how to help them too.
mhm, mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel as though my legacy, I would love to be as a spiritual man of God, that I was able to help
Mm,
others,
yeah.
and to help lift the load, and give them give them wisdom, because the Bible do say you have many counselors, but few fathers. We need some
Mhm,
fathers in the city of Milwaukee.
mhm, mhm,
We need some fathers. We have a whole lot of counselors. We have a whole lot of people that can give advice.
mhm,
But where are the
mhm,
fathers?
mhm,
I mean, everybody just running amok, doing what they want to do, just acting like they ain't got good sense and don't want to listen to nobody. There's got to be some fathers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come on now. So, uh, that's the legacy I would like to leave. That
Okay.
I was, I all the time say I like to treat people like I want to be treated. That's what I want on my epitaph, on my
Mhm,
gravestone.
mhm,
He treated people like he wanted to be treated.
mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. So now, one of the things that you've said, and one of my favorite things about having any kind of conversation with you is that you always force me to challenge me, right? And so you've said stay the course. We've talked about patience. We've talked about consistency. And, you were kind of giving the examples around different leaders where maybe they've made a mistake and you're helping lift them. When do you say enough is enough?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how do you figure out what the barometer is where, you know what? You done kicked yourself too many
I
times.
was
You're not
thinking
going to kick
about,
me
and
too.
it's so ironic that you would ask me that question, because I was thinking on that line. not too long ago, because I'm the type of person, if I start out with you,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be there.
Mhm.
If you started out with me, I'm gonna be there.
Mhm.
You and because I know you will be there. But it comes a time where sometimes you wonder. So what I recognize is that you're not praying for that person as much as you used to.
Mm.
And they're not on your mind
Mhm.
as much as they used to be.
Mhm.
Because before, it's almost like you felt like you couldn't make it without them,
Mhm.
and something was dying.
Mhm.
But God give you how to move on,
Mhm. Mhm.
not to forget about them
Mhm.
totally,
Mhm.
but you cannot. You know, that's like the days of Miriam when she talked about Moses. Oftentimes, say she held the church up for 10 days, running her mouth,
Mm.
talking about she knew just as much as Moses knew, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So she ended up holding up the people of God
Mhm.
as they was traveling through the wilderness
Mhm.
to get into their destiny,
Mhm.
and she held the church up. So I don't want to feel like uh that I'm better than somebody, but it comes a time you cannot allow love for a person
Mhm.
or one of your children,
Mhm.
somebody close to you,
Mhm.
paralyze you
Mhm.
where you can't move forward
Mhm.
because you don't want to lose them
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't want to leave them behind,
Mhm.
or you know, or you just want them there.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to keep on
We
going.
have to keep going. Yeah. So what are the points? What's the parameter for that, right? So, and again, I'm
Yeah, I understand.
processing myself here, like, you know, when we are thinking about the keeping the going, sometimes it feels like the person wants you to stop, right? Or the situation feels like it's calling you to pause and put we say I put my whole life on hold for you for this thing, but it's like, huh, was that what I was supposed to do? And who did that really serve in the long run? So just like interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have um, a lot of giving in you, and by nature, even if you weren't a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
by nature you're a nice person. So sometimes people will try to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I say to you, even though I have been taken advantage of, but I say to you all that's coming behind me and after me, you know, don't start something you can't stop.
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people, they'll lean on you for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They'll make it seem as though you're being challenged by how you feel about them when you you love them, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't give them everything you got.
Right. Right. Right.
And that's the hardest thing in the world to do, is tell somebody that, I love you, but I can't keep on.
Yeah. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a funny story. Sheldon and we had a conversation. I got upset with him last couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
But the reason why I got upset with him because he told me no. So we had a whole conversation about, I appreciate you don't want to do this, but you are not allowed to tell me no. Um, and then you got up talking about being spoiled, and I'm nudging him. I'm like, and there's nothing wrong with me being spoiled. He's not talking to me. He's talking to other people in here. And so, creating those boundaries though it's important. It's critical, even for the believer. And I think sometimes we get that kind of confused because people will use the fact that you're a person of faith as a reason to attempt, right, to kind of take advantage of you. And so how have you managed the business of ministry, right? You're a growing ministry. You got payroll, you got buildings, you got maintenance, you got all of the things we just have to flood. How do you manage working with the folks outside the ministry in terms of making sure everything is still level and effective and we're not being taken advantage of?
That's a good question too.
I'm here all day. I'm full of them.
You making me. Oh my God. And this goes out.
It goes out. It goes out.
Oh my God, you gonna get me in trouble.
So, well, we didn't call no names.
Ask the question again.
How do you manage the business of ministry? Because my opinion, you're much more than just the pastor, but there is the operations of the organization and the structure and the orchestration. How do you manage all of that without allowing your kindness to be taken advantage of? I'll ask it that way.
I think you can't go on your experience at that particular point. You have to keep on staying in touch with the Holy Spirit, with God. Because sometimes we think because we have been around in ministry a certain amount of time, we think that whatever we do, it's okay because I've been hanging out with Jesus for a long time, so therefore, what I choose to do is going to be all right, and who I choose to do for be all right. But the Bible says in Proverbs, in all that ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct our path. So I just feel as though I still consult the Lord on everything that I do when it comes to, especially people's lives. Oftentimes tell people I don't mind messing up on myself, and I don't mind messing up in Egypt, but I ain't gonna mess with Israel. If I got to do bad, I'm going to Egypt. But I ain't gonna mess up in Israel.
Yeah.
Because Israel will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And you don't mess with God's people.
Yeah.
And you don't take advantage of God's people. So therefore, what I try to do is I try to treat people like I want to be treated, as I said earlier. But yeah, I appreciate the blessings of the Lord, knowing that I have people like you, your husband is a CEO, and I'll call him my Fortune 500 member. So successful, if I go broke today, he could take care of me. Right. And I know that. I know that I just feel it in my DNA that he will just, he would not let me fall.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't do it. And you won't either.
Yeah.
So it runs in the family. Yeah. And, but at the same time, I think that, we are that have overcome some things and we have become successful. Never forget where you come from, and never forget the person that needs your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you will be taken advantage of sometime in that. Some people they will use you, but I'm like Dad Mason. They said people always came to him and said, "Dad, I lost my wallet, I lost my money," and say he had got so sick of hearing them lie till he started throwing it behind him. Say, "Here, throw the money behind him." Just here, take it and do right by what the Lord say do. So it's almost like that's the way I am. I know when I'm being jibed. I know. But at the same time, I feel as though that they will have a different testimony up the road of peace.
Absolutely. No, that's good.
They'll speak well of me, hopefully.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we are wrapping up. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. I always enjoy talking to you. So again, thank you for your time. The pillars of Life Empowered Consulting is to embrace, is to empower, and it is to elevate. And so in my mind, when I think about embracing, I think about bringing everyone along with you, right? Like not leaving anybody behind. When I think about empowering, I think about giving people the tools that they need to be successful.
Right.
And then when I think about elevating, I think about giving them the platform or the opportunity to kind of go to that next level. Of those three, what resonates with you the most?
At this juncture in my life, elevation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about it, please.
Yeah. I feel as though that, and I know we have titles, and some people have titles. I really know that they're not qualified for those titles. But I feel like there's certain titles that I'm qualified for now. And so I'm willing to take the elevation so that I'll be able to help others.
Do the work, yeah.
Not just because I want that name.
Right.
But it's because I feel as though that I only, when you're 70, you're closer to judgment than you is earth. So you can't act like you got forever, So, so I know my time is winding up and I just want to give back and use an elevated level that God has given me to do so.
Thank you. No, that's powerful. Well, I thank you so much.
Because I already know how to embrace.
Yes, you do. Yes. And empower.
And empower.
Yes.
I let you all practice on us.
Yes.
And, they do well practicing on us, and most of the people that I have tutored, they know how to take constructive criticism. And I think that's good.
Yeah. I wish you would give me a little bit more, actually, but that's a different story. But again, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you for sharing all of the things.
Thank you for giving me this platform. And I never thought in my lifetime that I will be relevant in anything.
Well, you are.
I'm just grateful that you thought enough of me to do this, and I appreciate you.
I'm so kind. That's so kind. Well, to all of you that are listening, listen, rewind it, watch it again. And then next week, rewind it and watch it again. And then the following week, rewind it, watch it again. This has been fantastic. I thank you all for joining me. I thank you again for joining me. And remember, live life empowered. Take care. Goodbye.